I discovered that if I pretended to be blind, I could openly sit outside temples and beg, and even get a free government-provided apartment. That day, as usual, I went to play piano for a wealthy man's wife. When she opened the door, I could feel she didn't want me inside, but I had already accepted a deposit from her husband, so she stepped aside. But shortly after I began, I smelled something strange. Following the scent, I discovered a body lying in the living room. I finally understood why she didn't want me in at first. I pretended to stay calm and casually said I needed to use the bathroom. Passing through the living room, I deliberately stepped in some water on the floor to appear more like a blind person. Once inside the bathroom, I realized the killer was right behind me, holding a gun. I held my breath, careful not to give any clue. Luckily, I actually used the bathroom, so I didn't raise suspicion. As I passed the living room again, I got a clear look at the body's face. It was the wealthy man himself. I forced myself to stay calm, returned to the piano, and continued playing. After leaving his house, I sat by the roadside, dazed, hesitating whether to call the police. The man was known for being generous, always tipping me well whenever he hired me. In the end, I went to the station. I said I wanted to report a murder. Before I could finish speaking, I saw the man, the one hiding in the bathroom, and he was wearing a police uniform. I froze completely. It was the police chief. My mind went blank. Luckily, I reacted fast and quickly changed my story, saying my cat had been killed. The chief's gaze was cold as a knife. He had just killed someone, and the only witness me was reporting it. He clearly suspected I wasn't actually blind. He insisted on personally taking me home. Once inside, he noticed a newspaper on the table. I said it was used to line the litter box, but he clearly didn't believe me. He kept testing me, even throwing a small knife near my head. I didn't move. Thankfully, he didn't see through me. The next day, the wealthy man's body was found floating by the river. His wife, Zimi, cried bitterly in an interview. She said he went out with $10 million in cash the day before. The police chief had already pinned the crime on a young man. I was called to give a statement. Listening to their fabricated report, my palms were sweaty.
बॉडी को पैक कर दिया बैग के अंदर अंगूठी निकली तोड़ दिया टुक करके यार मैं देख सकता हूं
I wanted to stand up and tell the truth, but it was only a fantasy. I knew that if I spoke, I would end up like the wealthy man. I thought it was over. But then, a twist came. At the funeral, his wife went on and on about that night, not realizing someone else had seen it happen. The neighbor, an old lady. After the funeral, the lady went to the police saying the wealthy man's wife was lying. Not long after, the woman knocked on the old lady's door. I happened to be hired as a private tutor by the wealthy man's daughter. When the elevator doors opened, I saw with my own eyes the woman pushing the old lady down the stairs. My legs went weak, almost collapsing. I forced myself to stay calm, pretending I saw nothing. I didn't know if the lady was killed because she provided evidence. I thought the woman had gone mad, trying to eliminate everyone who knew the truth. I wanted to escape, but before I could step out, there was a knock at the door. It was her. She said she was hosting a memorial, inviting me to perform, and handed me a pastry. I didn't dare refuse, so I ate it. When I turned to pour coffee, I looked back. She was standing there wearing a skull mask. I jumped, but pretended I saw nothing. She poured a bottle of liquid into my cup in front of me. I had to act natural, said I was getting cookies, and deliberately spilled the cup. At that moment, she realized I wasn't blind at all.